I've always been under the impression that people feel an inadequacy or something in their own personal life or self, so they feel like they have this really nice, souped-up car. It'll give them more value or make them more attractive to women or whoever.
Oh my god.
Stop this!
Scientists are hopeful that the man will regain his eyesight, although they stress they may not be able to save his pig snout.
God damn it!
Listen, you ain't welcome in Azores or Lisbon, not just Portugal, I mean anywhere this bitch wanders. Safer for you, buddy, if you stick to the Richmond projects. Obviously active at the done, fixing your vision sockets. Dummy, did you think you were able to take my pride from me? Mention my family, why? To get a rise from me? When you wave your people goodbye, leave your ego behind. Or next time, there'll be two crosses right where your eyes should be. You want the fame and glory, you want to sell your story by how you traveled for me to my own territory, by how you got destroyed by a shorty. Nah, surely you can't say that so suddenly. It's 1 against 40. You wanna fuck my sister when you're covered in blisters? How the fuck did she see you? You're stuck in ICU. Maybe she'll visit and bring you a book that she could read you, or bring the Burger King, cut it up and just force feed you. Yo, take this Burger King, bitch. Rest in peace.
Now, the funny part about that is that song was actually made for Ralph, and yet there's there's little things in there that you could easily apply to Darksydephil, which is rather funny. All right, welcome to the Daily Beggar. Sorry, I amused myself. Welcome to the Daily Beggar. Hopefully you guys are doing well. I am doing this because I wanted to. I wanted to go over a video by Doody Streams. It was from May 29th of 2020. DSP claims John Rambo and Howard audio has been doctored so many times that he doesn't know what's true. That's basically it. We're gonna go over that. Now, how do we start the ball off with this? First off, there are a bunch of variations of the. There's a few. I wouldn't say a bunch. There's actually a few. There's a few variations or mirrors or re-uploads or renditions, however you want to word it, of the John and Howard response. There are not too many. It's nothing crazy, to be honest. The shortest version that I found, because I actually have notes, because I'm a professional. I'm not a professional. I just like to pretend I'm one. The shortest version that I found, that I've gone over at one time or another, or I've certainly watched it, is from Marcus DP, formerly known as Marcus Daily Productions. Excuse me. It was uploaded October 11th of 2017. It's about an hour and 14 minutes and 54 seconds. The original audio, I couldn't tell you how long it is. I would assume, given the date that some of the re-uploads or the mirrors were, when they were uploaded, when some of those mirrors were uploaded, it's about an hour and 38 minutes and 10 seconds, give or take. DSP wants to make an argument that because there are so many different versions out there with so many different, with various links, he thinks that he thinks he can use that as a way of saying the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics have somehow manipulated the audio, and he can use that as some type of wiggle room to prove that the John and Howard response isn't as bad as it's been made out to be. If it wasn't, these assholes went ahead and been manipulating you guys for a better part of 7 years, and yada, yada, yada. Now, I'll go ahead and give all my evidence to this after we go over the video. And I'll try to lay it all out for you. Exactly what he's trying to do and how far he thinks he can take it. Can't take it far. I'll tell you that, most certainly. But we'll play his game for right now. We'll see how it goes. It's kind of lame. It's kind of lame. Big ups to MC Warski and Jarbo The Hutt, which is our MC Jarbo, which is what you just heard. Let me go ahead and throw something else on for you guys real quick as I get set up, and then we'll get started. Holy shit. Holy shit, the fact that he would try to take this angle is insane. Now, granted, if I'm pretty sure one of the videos that went up earlier this week has already said it, I'm very much against him doing this video. Nothing good's going to come out of it. And certainly he has not learned anything in the years since his videos come out. He's not ready to tackle this video. He's not. And when I mean Phil. He's not ready to DSP Darksydephil. Apparently, he's not ready to tackle this video. And as of the day that I'm recording this on like June 1st. He was just on Twitter saying that, this video is gonna be a little bit more work than I initially thought, and he's taking down all these notes and everything. He posted that at like 4 o'clock in the morning, by the way. So the gin was flowing, right? He's probably pretty upset, or he's probably feeling a certain type of way. Wouldn't be surprised if some drunk text messages were sent out. Certainly a drunken tweet was sent out. If this is how he's been spending the last couple of nights, he's only fucking himself over worse. It's supposed to be a reaction, right? You're supposed to be reacting to what these people are saying. You sitting here taking notes and everything just shows that what's about to come up next is about to be super premeditated. It's going to be a lie. And how are you going to sit there and say, how is he going to sit there and say, I should say, that what he said, what he's saying is true, and what they said is a lie? But see, he's kind of already brushed that aside in the fact that, hey, a lot of what they said is true. I was a terrible friend to them, and so on and so forth, but a lot of what they said was unfair. That's what he's saying right now. That's the current pignosis, that, hey, a lot of what was said in that video was not fair. Not a lie. Keep this in mind. Was not fair. Watch how that changes come Saturday. So keep up with that. I will go over the DSP down the rabbit hole, his version of it, and then we'll tackle the John and Rambo situation. I've already gone over that so many times, but yet I enjoy doing it because the more times you go over something, the more you miss stuff. You'll never catch every little thing on the first run, or even on the first couple of runs. I'm proof positive of that. So, you'd be surprised what you learn. I'm anxious to hear what he has to say, but I'm telling you, it's not going to be good. And one thing I do want to say, I should have one more video out after this one, so before Saturday. The Snort report that I had planned might have to get put on the back burner till next week. We'll see. But I will say that he there's some stuff that I want to point out before Saturday. Especially as it pertains to John Rambo, because he said that John Rambo and Howard kind of hit below the belt. They went somewhere with stuff that they shouldn't have done. They touched on some subjects they shouldn't have touched on. They had revealed some things that they shouldn't have revealed, and that was unfair. Well, what about when DSP read out John's text messages? How John said, "Hey, man, I'm kind of trying to get my head together. I'm trying to get my finances together. I'm trying to move, and so I'm trying to get this money together. And so I don't really have time to do this because what you are currently doing isn't going to help me with that." That statement in itself should have never came out, because one, no one needs to know what John's financial situation is in. Two, no one needs to really know what John's mental situation or mental state is at that time. And three, he called you out in that text message saying that, hey, doing videos with you isn't really going to help. Which goes back to my ongoing theory that DSP was undercutting John that whole time that they were doing content with each other. And I don't think John realized it. I think John always knew it. I think John just wanted to be a good friend and wanted to be like, you know what, go ahead and take your cut. This is how you make, this is what you're doing for a living. I'm just kind of helping you out, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So that goes back to that particular theory. We can touch on that more at a later time. And then the next thing that I want to point out was when DSP sat there and was acting like an ass clown during Project 7. I think this is between episode 3 and 4. And he sat there and bitched and complained, and it was in a weekend preview. It's in a weekend preview. Now you can on YouTube you can easily look up like DSP jealous of John Rambo or whatever. It's like 3 minutes, three and a half minutes of DSP bitching and complaining about how John was praised in the last episode of Project 7 at that time, and how DSP was butthurt about it, which is something that John actually addresses in the John and Howard response. And how DSP, apologized and said, oh, well, I was just feeling insecure and this, that, and the third, like a straight bitch. But DSP didn't need to do that either. There's a lot that DSP is going to leave out of Saturday's event. Clearly, there's a lot that he's going to leave out because he took shots at those guys for the better part of a year, and then he's taking shots at them years after the fact. One more thing, and then let's just go and get started. What about when Howard reached out to him to let Phil know that Scott died? And instead of DSP responding to Howard's text, he waits a couple days, or he takes a couple days, and then decides to go ahead and profit off of Scott's death. And it was either in an Ask the King or in a Hate Live podcast, or it was something along those lines. How about that? Why didn't you know what I'm saying? Like, if Scott meant so much to you, why didn't you make a video that day? Why'd you wait a couple days and then throw it into another video? And then yet again, you profited from it in the same way as you profited off when T. Carter died. Semantics, I'm sure. Anywho, let's get into the situation here. Since we're playing some MC Jarbo, let me throw up this here, and I'll see you guys in a second.
1, 2, 3, go! Memphis, Tennessee, straight up this bitch. The GUNT. Big ups to MC Jarbo. Did someone say, wait a minute, Matt, no, should've kept my head in my cab low. Now I'm just getting played like Hasbro when I'm not butt fucking handicapped. I'm calling out your woefully insufficient level.
June 4th. That day we do a pre-stream podcast. We order the food together live for the Feasting with the King, and then we get right into the React event where I'm going to react directly to that video. So it is a video. Now it's a video. What's funny is originally it was, I don't even know if originally it was a video or an audio recording. The original...
He knows. And I'll get into that in just a second, but he knows. All right, so let's see here. Let's make the proper introductions. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Doody Streams, May 29th, 2020, or 2022, I apologize. DSP claims that John Rambo and Howard audio has been doctored so many times that he doesn't know what's true. The link will be down in the description, of course. And let's go ahead and get the ball rolling. Let's go ahead and start getting this chicken, this piggy cut up. I could use some chicken right now too. Some honey roasted chicken. Well, I know what I'm doing for dinner tonight. Baked, of course.
Thing that John Howard put out was lost, and it's unclear, was it purposely pulled by them because they thought it was going to cause too much drama, or because they thought it was too hurtful? Did it get pulled down by someone? Did they flag the video for like violating YouTube rules, which I don't think it does. I don't know why that would have happened or how that could have happened, but it's completely unclear what happened because the originals lost to time. All we have are backups of backups of backups, people who have mirrored it a bunch of times.
Now, I want you to, let me address this real fast. This whole spiel about, what happened to it, right, falls in line with a statement that he made semi-recently as it pertains to the Metal Gear Solid 2, This Is How You Don't Play, Evil AJ. Big ups. Because that's the choices that you had. You had the Evil AJ, This Is How You Don't Play, or you had the John and Howard response. And DSP blatantly came out and said, hey, people have been saying, and Evil AJ had said, that, I was the one who took that down. I took down the original, and so on and so forth. And he's like, I don't remember. I might have done it. I might have not done it. It was so many years ago, I don't remember. When he said that, that confirmed to me that he did it. Which we already knew that he did it, but that confirmed to me that he did it. But on top of that, that confirmed to me as well, even though I already knew it, we all did, that he took down the John and Howard video. I'll explain that a little bit as after this, because I got to throw some dates at you and I got to throw some screenshots at you. But that confirmed to me that he had them both taken down, and he had them taken down through Machinima. And that right there is the cover. That right there is the foil. Oh, I don't know if I took it down or not. I don't remember. I'm not sure. And I don't know why he would be okay with saying that about the "this is how you don't play," but he's not okay about saying that with the John and Howard response. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. They both are a blow to Darksydephil's ego, certainly, and to what image, I guess you could say, that he may or may not have had. The John and Howard video is so much worse. So much worse. Because for the idiots that aren't sticking around, or haven't stuck around, I should say, it already confirmed what they kind of already thought. Like, hey, DSP is a real piece of garbage. And this whole thing about this being an act, or this is some type of, artistic, not autistic, but artistic, like, type of characterage that he's been playing for all these years and whatnot, got blown out of the fucking water when your best buddies, went ahead and exposed you. Sorry. Best buddy, John. Howard was never his friend. He was just an associate. He was just there because John was there because he was close with John. DSP didn't really like Howard. He only dealt with Howard because he had to. Because he wanted to keep John around. I've been saying that for years. Can't wait to hear it confirmed. But that's what it came down to. So, like I said, we'll address that as the video goes on. But I don't understand where he thinks he's going to go with that. Because sooner than later, he's going to have to admit, or he's going to probably use the excuse that, oh, it was Machinima's fault. Machinima did that. Well, Machinima's not going to go out of their way to do that for no reason. The same thing with his incident, right? When he jerked off on fucking YouTube and shit. Machinima's not going to go out their way and be like, oh shit, one of our partners just got caught jacking off on a stream. Let's go ahead and take those videos down. Nah, someone had to make a request for that. Someone had to make a request for it. But yet, history has gotten spun by DSP. In fact, oh no, I accepted it. No, I rolled with the punches. No, I was doing this, that, and the third. That's bullshit. That's such bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Only when Keemstar and Drama Alert started to really come into play, and DSP saw a lot of increasing attention for his content, is when he started to roll with it. At first, though, he was denying that shit ever happened. Oh, I was scratching my leg. He literally said that, by the way. So fucking lame. It's a real short leg. Anyway, he went ahead and sat there and was using that type of bullshit. Fucking Review Tech USA made a video around that time telling DSP that he needed to chill the fuck out and he should just laugh at it with everybody else. And then, like I said, DSP was literally trying to suck off Keemstar to see if he could get on Drama Alert, and Keem didn't need it. Keem already had like a 30, 45, maybe a minute long segment on Drama Alert talking about the situation, essentially laughing at it hysterically, and then he moved the fuck on. He didn't need DSP to add any insight to that shit. You're a fucking tard that got caught jacking off and whatnot when you have a girlfriend, a younger girlfriend, by the way, who was there ready to quote-unquote service you at any given time. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I remember people back then, I remember watching in older videos later on after the fact who were saying, oh, well, DSP is a bit of a Chad, because he has a younger girlfriend or whatever. What the fuck does that do about anything if you're not going to use her? You having a younger girlfriend doesn't mean jack shit if you're not putting no work in. It means nothing. Panda was nothing more than a status symbol. She was a trophy. To separate himself from the rest of the losers who were watching him at the time, who probably didn't have girlfriends themselves. That's all it was. It was an image. And if you go back to that time on YouTube, is when a lot of dudes, right? There's a lot of guys on YouTube who were doing gaming content or whatever, who were vlogging with their girlfriends in there. Right? And DSP thought he was going to jump on the trend. Oh, well, hey, I know I've already gone ahead and harassed this girl for God knows how many weeks to be my girlfriend. She finally broke down and accepted, hey, I need to go ahead and show her off. And now, when I do vlogs, when I do vacation trips and all that, hey, I'm on vacation with the girlfriend, just like all these other popular vloggers or some of these people who are coming into the gaming sphere and showing off their girlfriend or doing co-op with their girlfriends and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It was all about image. But when you peel that initial piece of fat off the pig, and we start getting into, the bits that we're actually looking for, it's all rotted. You know what I'm saying? It's all rotted. But yet again, DSP from a from a social standpoint, sociology, he was aware enough to know that, hey, these people live through me. You know what I'm saying? So with every new trinket that I add to my quote-unquote arsenal or repertoire, as he likes to say, whatever, that gives these people more reason to praise me. This gives these people more reason to be invested in me. And whenever I need them for whatever reason, I can call upon them. Tell me that I'm not wrong. Tell me that I'm wrong in any of that, given what most of you have seen or heard over the years as it pertains to DSP. And then behind the scenes, Panda saying, hey, we're not fucking. And John and Howard is like, yo, this guy's greedy as fuck. He's an asshole. He's sitting here, renting fucking BMWs and shit, filling his house with a bunch of useless garbage so he can show it off and whatnot. Under those circumstances, why did John and Howard need to throw any money in on the Project 7 t-shirts? DSP could have funded the $900 himself. Why did John and Howard have to do it? Howard wasn't making no money. And John, he said he got his cut, or he got his percentage, but I put it out there, as I have for a very long time, that that percentage was really, really small. I don't think DSP was being up and up with John about the money. I'm confident of it. But yet again, we'll see if DSP exposes himself on Saturday. We'll see. But let's continue.
Versions don't match time-wise, and in one case, there's like a bunch of stuff missing that makes no sense because it's not even like meaningful stuff that was cut. And then on top of that, when you listen to it, you can actually hear jumping cuts, and it's like, why?
All right. All right. The two versions that come up, the first two, if you went and looked at the John and Howard response, there's literally a 5-minute and 1 second difference between the two. That's it. I'll actually play you the beginning of both of those videos to prove my point on that. Everything else are either supercuts or they're missing, or for whatever reason, they're missing some other stuff. But certainly not enough to warrant what he's trying to say. These fucking jump cuts or whatever that he keeps talking about, if he's talking about, for example, if he's trying to use the Marcus Daily Productions rendition, which, like I said, it's about an hour and 14 minutes. Yeah, that's him cutting around some of the small bullshit to get to the bigger, for him to try to get to the bigger picture. Other than that, he really doesn't have a leg to stand on. And then to even further my point, before the Marcus Daily Productions, like I said, he's 114. There's another individual out there by the name of Mac who had his rendition or mirror of it or re-upload is 1 hour 31 minutes and 23 seconds, which is 7 minutes short of some of the other renditions that are out there that are more widely known. Other than that, and then to even prove that point, I have two other versions of it that are right at the 1 hour and 38 minute mark. Yet again, we're pig squealing about nothing. And then, to even further my point, those two renditions that I just told you about are literally from the 2015 year. And the date, which we'll focus on a little bit later, is going to be the important part. Because right around the time that the original John and Rambo response got taken down is when these mirrors or re-uploads went back up. Because I don't see these people mirroring these videos or re-uploading these videos while John and Howard had the original one up. I don't think that happened. I think this happened as soon as the original got taken down. And DSP knows it. But we'll continue.
Jump cutting between topics, what's missing? It's really weird. I mean, like I said, it's been 7+ years ago, so who knows what originally this thing was. But I'll be reacting to it in the best I can. You're going to see it's produced well. I'm excited for this event. You know what I'm really excited for? Putting it to rest. Because so many times over the years, people have come back to my streams and my content and saying, Phil, how do you feel about John and Howard? What do you think about what happened? The falling out, really what happened there? Can you comment on that? Do you think you guys could ever be friends again? And I'm like, oh, God, again, here we go again. Like, don't you understand? It's been so many years. I said this a million times. That, can you realize that now I've made more content solo here in Washington State than I ever made back in Connecticut doing anything with those guys.
And it doesn't. And if you want to, I mean, it doesn't matter. But if you want to use that as a talking point, it shows the decline in interest in your content since those guys have been out. So congratulations, you have continued to stumble on, failing, right, and not growing, if you will, or not prospering, if you will, when you were back in your olden days. Yes, he has made certainly way more money, certainly, but the content has dipped. He's been reliant, and he still is, on a very, very, very small demographic of people to keep him hobbling along. The John and Howard response broke him, I think, better than any reaction video, any restream. I think it broke him in a way that no detractor content then and now has ever done, and he knows it. And that's why he spent so many years avoiding it. That's why he spent so many years downplaying it and saying that it was their fault. If they had agreements with me, they should have told me what the problem was instead of making a hit piece on me. I don't want to respond to it because I don't have to respond to it. I don't want to reach out to those guys because those guys know me. Those guys know where to reach me. My phone number hasn't changed. Gotcha moment there, by the way. All pun intended. Those guys know how to reach out to me. I haven't changed my phone number. If they want to reach out to me, they can. Now, you guys know about DSP's apology fetish. So no one, I especially John, I think at this point, no one's going to bend a knee to that. Howard's definitely not doing that. And then by him confirming that, hey, my phone number hasn't changed, that linked his ass right to the WWE Championship. Hook, line, sinker. Period. He doesn't want to address that shit because he saw it when it came out. And he watched all of it when it came out. And that's what gave him enough it gave him enough probable cause, if you will, to take the damn thing down as quickly as possible. And what happened is John and Howard already figured that much. They already figured that he would attack the video, and they uploaded it to like Mega Upload or whatever the case may be, and people were able to re-download it as best they could, and that's why it got re-uploaded to all the OG channels back in the day. Because if not, DSP would have had what he wanted, and only a few people would have seen it, and he could easily just block them, so no big deal. And if they ended up going on to become detractors, as some of them did, he could sit there and wave them off that, oh, you guys are just part of this hate mob. You guys don't have any validity to any of you. Fuck you. You hate me and you don't even understand why you hate me. Fuck you. And that's all he would have done. That's all he would have done. It's the one thing he couldn't make go away. Well, it's one of many things he couldn't make go away. And then, yet again, he wanted John and Howard to come back and grovel to him. And he wasn't willing to do that. But then John and Howard talk about, hey, he was sending us drunken text messages as early as 2015. You're telling me that DSP still doesn't do that now? If those guys haven't changed their numbers at this point. But yet DSP's been publicly telling people, hey, if they want to reach out to me, they know how to get a hold of me. But back then, he was the one that was actually reaching out to them in the middle of the night, drunk, trying to say, I'm sorry, man, I apologize. No. Probably trying to convince them to make a public statement to make the hate go away from the video. So, trust me, this shit is deeper than Snorts. This shit is deeper than Snorts. And this dude is not ready. I'm telling you. When you whatever restream, or whoever restream, I should say, that you're watching at that time, hopefully I want them, whoever you choose to watch, hopefully they put an emphasis on DSP's webcam, because I want you to look at what's being said. I want you to listen to what's being said, and I want you to see how he reacts to when such things are being said. If he gives you that dead stare in the camera, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's always a dead giveaway for him. He shouldn't have to look into the camera like that while responding to something else, especially if he's not saying anything. Because usually DSP has this autistic shit where he has to look at the computer all the way over at the end of shit. He's always looking off at that corner. But when you catch those glimpses of him looking directly at the camera for a second and then darting his eyes away and shit, that tells you something. It tells you something. And it's the one thing that he can't hide. He can lie as much as he wants, but he can't hide the mannerisms.
Content in 2008, and I did all solo content until around 2010. It was 2010 I started doing co-op with John Rambo, And then we did co-op from 2010 to around 2014 when I moved. Then there was also Howard involved in a few co-op projects. Every once in a while we would go to a convention or an event together. And also we played Super Turbo over Howard's house pretty frequently. So,
yeah, tell him why you played frequently at Howard's house. And let's not completely downplay Howard. Talk about how when right before DSP was about to move, how he calls Howard and he's like, "Hey, we got this playthrough that you and me started. We need to finish it." And Howie's like, "Yo, man, I got stuff to do. I can't really do that today, man." "Oh, well, if you don't come by and do this, we were never friends." Who says that to someone else? So Howard looks over at his girlfriend at the time, or maybe he married her. I don't know. But his girlfriend at the time and says, "Hey, hey, the guy's leaving and whatnot, and let me go over there and knock out this playthrough and whatnot, and then when I get back or tomorrow, we'll do what we're gonna do." And he goes over there and finishes the playthrough. Now, if you're DSP, how the fuck? This shows how this dude don't know how to read a room and whatnot. And despite at least some degree of a social IQ, he is so self-absorbed in himself. How do you feel threatening someone, basically saying, "Hey, we were never friends if you don't come over and help me do this playthrough," and then you guys sit down, and then the guy actually comes over and you guys sit down and do this playthrough? He feels awkward and doesn't really want to be there because he already had plans. You only want him there to finish the playthrough off so you don't look like a loser and either have to drop the playthrough altogether or have to shelf it because you couldn't get Howard to come over there on your schedule. Like, I don't know what playthrough that was and whatnot, but I kind of want to go and find it because I want to see what the last couple of parts of that playthrough look like. Because I bet you it's uncomfortable. I bet you it's very uncomfortable. And Howard comes across as the type of person who is only going to hold his tongue only so much. You know what I mean? So you're going to see I would assume you'd see the frustration on his face. The DSP really don't want him there outside the fact that he needs him to finish the playthrough. And that's it. It makes you wonder, well, why didn't he call John? Why didn't he ask John to come by and finish that playthrough off? Why didn't he reach out to OJ? Excuse me. Why did he reach out to OJ and have him help him with that? Something to think about.
4-year span. I've been doing solo content in Washington State for 8 years. I moved
Oh
here
yeah,
in the summer.
and then the arcade machine. Sorry, that's the real reason. The only and this goes back to the whole utilitarianism. You have to serve a purpose. If you're not serving a purpose, you're just in the way. When John and Howard, keep in mind, DSP owned nothing when it comes to this arcade machine. It's a head-up machine. It's an old school one, real popular in Japan for Super Turbo, and it's at Howard's house. But John threw however much money it cost in on it. They went halvies, but yet DSP was almost always over there playing on it. Well, I mean, you've said in later years that you didn't like Howard. And Howard was never really your friend. He was just an associate. He was just there. He was a third wheel, if you will. So why are you over there at Howard's house all the time playing on his arcade machine? Or sorry, his and John's arcade machine. Did you feel that your affiliation with John warranted you being able to do that? Did you pretend being Howard's friend only so you could use his arcade machine to level up? And once he served his purpose, fuck off with it? Why didn't DSP ever buy an arcade machine? He made all that money back in the day. He could have afforded 1 or 2 stand-up machines in that already cluttered horde roach nest that he lived in. He could have had his own Super Turbo machine. It wouldn't have been a sit-down machine, but he had bar stools. He could have sat on that. My point being is, what was Howard's real purpose? I'm pointing out to you guys examples of times that he's used Howard, but he said on many of occasions he was just an associate. We were never friends. Well, why did you need Howard to come over and finish this playthrough with you so bad? Why would you start a playthrough with someone who's not your friend? That doesn't make any sense. Semantics, I'm sure.
14. So most people probably know me from the content I've done here, not from the content back in Connecticut. But at the same time, a lot of people have this really strong nostalgic attachment to the past. And they can't let go of the fact that that's my distant past at this point. I'm hoping this...
You mean like his 4th place finish at EVO? You mean when he used to be white hot popular on YouTube? Shall I keep going? How how supposedly, not supposedly, how how Pro Jared has slighted him on Twitter, how Review Tech USA slighted him on Twitter, how PewDiePie used to actually be a viewer of his content before he went on to make his own stuff. But everybody else can't let go of the past, right? Wasn't DSP the one who said, I'm all about looking forward and not looking back? Wasn't he the one who said, in response to someone questioning him about, hey, reaching out to John and trying to make amends, hey, you got to move on. You guys need to let that go. You guys can't keep living in the past. Does anybody remember any of these things? I remember. Pepper's Farm remembers.
We'll put it to bed. Finally, we can say, okay, I addressed everything. Here's my thoughts on what happened, and here's my frame of reference, and here's what you think, and judge for yourself, but the past is the past, time to move on. That's kind of one of the major things I'm hoping to get out of Saturday, is to be able to just move on. Because so many people just keep asking me, like, guys, yeesh.
While he takes a sip of his his seltzer water. Dude, this shit's just going to open up Pandora's box for so many more years of dissecting that shit. I look forward to that. Even though I don't want him to do it, because I feel like it serves no purpose, and it's just going to be full of lies and bullshit anyway, I look forward to... I'd be lying if I didn't say that I am looking forward to this renewal of interest in the whole John and Howard response. Reaching out to John and Howard? No, not necessarily. I mean, you should let that go. But, I mean, going over the actual video itself, people actually really taking in some of the nuances, people really going back into 2015 for what they could find, and going over some of those Ask the Kings, some of those pre-streams where people had asked him about John and Howard, and he wouldn't respond, or he would throw his little snorts, his little snorky remarks out every once in a while about it, and then dismiss it because he felt like he could. I think this brings up something. This is really gonna. I hope that this comes a renaissance, if you will, comes back, or is started up, if you will, and going back and looking at the old stuff and really giving it a deep dive. And as Secret Limited has already done, I don't know if he'll do it for the John and Howard thing. It's going to require so much footwork. But not to say that he's not up for the task. I'm just saying it's a lot. I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of a supercut, if you will, of the John and Howard response, and how a lot of that shit gets broken up in the same way that he did the Down the Rabbit Hole. But that's just me wishfully thinking as a fan. But we'll see. Time will tell. Excuse me.
But we'll get to that on Saturday, okay? So that's Saturday's event. So this week will be pretty fun. Unique streams of either Skyrim or WWE or maybe more Pac-Man during the course of the week. And then night streams will be Uncharted and Zelda and some Street Fighter. I'll do the React event to the Sony State of Play as a late part of a stream, the main stream on Thursday. And then on Saturday, it is the full React event plus a Feasting with the King. So it's going to be a good variety of stuff this week. Next week as well, because guess what? The week after that is finally the big new releases coming out, including Mario Strikers Battle, I think it's called Battle League or something like that. And then also The Quarry, the next game from Supermassive Games, the makers of Until Dawn, and also the recent Dark Pictures Anthology games. I'm excited for those. And that week is 2 more digital events. Like I said, you got Summer Games Fest on the 9th, and then you've got the Microsoft Bethesda event.
Now, real quick, I find it funny that he wants to do actual reactions to some of these game cons or these game showcases after years upon years upon years of people asking him on Twitch, hey, why aren't you doing this? Hey, all these other big streamers are doing it. All these other medium streamers are doing it. All these streamers smaller than him are doing it. Why aren't you doing this? You know what I mean? Don't you think that would be a much better way of interacting with the audience, and then you can give your points after the show, but at least you guys can watch it together. It's like a viewing party. And you can't do that. Oh, that's breaking rules and copyright and all this and all that. And now all of a sudden we're doing it. Just like this desperate attempt. I guess he said it on a pre-stream yesterday or the day before, Not yesterday, because I think he was off yesterday. So it'd have been Monday. That I guess he wants to do a reaction video every week now, which is typical Darksydephil. Taking something that has a little bit of attention and then literally grinding that shit in the dust. You know what I'm saying? Burying it. Right? Even though coming off of it was either right before the Wings of Redemption down the rabbit hole or after it. He said, oh, well, I don't want to do these all the time because it won't be special. Which him and the word special is just autistic in itself. But he's like, oh, it won't be special if I do it all the time. Now he's talking about doing it every fucking week. And here's the even funnier part. And this is an underlying thing that DSP is not telling you. But I know for sure this is what he wants. He's trying to overcome. Let's reword it. He's trying to overcome the Wings of Redemption down the rabbit hole reaction video. That shit must have almost 40,000 views compared to his own reaction to the Darksydephil down the rabbit hole, which isn't doing shit, and he knows it, and he needs something that's going to overtake it, and he's so goddamn desperate that's why he's chosen the John and Howard response. Because anybody who knows anything about anything as it pertains to DSP, you know how pivotal that is to his past. Well, to him as a person. And so that's what he's gambling on. And the fact that it sounds like it's going to be an all-day thing. So we're talking about 7 or 8 hours worth of video he's going to put behind this shit. He's desperate to have it being overtaken. Because here's the thing. How is it that I know there's a playlist for the Wings of Redemption reaction, right? Well, why isn't it like right under his own reaction video? Right? Why isn't that, I should say? Why isn't the Wings of Redemption reaction video right under the DSP or the Darksydephil reaction video? It's buried. You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely buried. Go to his front, well, if you choose to, go to his front page and take a look. If you go to his front page, not to videos, but to his actual front page, as a fucking pig pen mess as it is, you can see all of his different playlists. The DSP down the rabbit hole reaction playlist is there. The Wings one's nowhere in sight. He doesn't like the fact that Wings brought in way more attention and probably way more engagement, and he hates it. And so he's hoping that this right here is going to trump it, and it's not. I don't think so. We'll see. I guess if he throws a bunch of hours at it, he thinks it'll work, but it won't. If it gets less exposure than the actual DSP down the rabbit hole, I'm going to laugh my ass off. It's possible. But if it gets less of a reaction or a response than that's just going to be hilarious. But time will tell.
Excuse me. Xbox Bethesda event a few days after that. So we've got a lot of actually really good stuff coming up in June. I'm actually very excited about this. I think June's going to be a pretty exciting month, especially compared to May. May was a dead month, man. Let's be honest here. May was me basically ending Elden Ring and a lot of kind of dead time stuff. Finally starting WWE, which is fine. But I knew for a fact that WWE was going to be for a specific audience, those who like pro wrestling. Honestly, I haven't really gotten much or any interest from people who don't like pro wrestling. They haven't even given it a chance. They're like, yeah, I don't like wrestling, right? So
that's another thing too I'd like to address about his reactions, right? He's talking about he wants to react to more of the down the rabbit hole stuff, and now he's talking about getting into paranormal type stuff, ghost hunting and all that bullshit. Not bullshit, but getting into that content. This idiot, by him denying the WWE Champions situation, saga. It's not an arc, it's a saga. It deserves its own. It deserves the respect it deserves. By this idiot just completely disavowing WWE Champions and saying multiple times that, oh, I don't watch wrestling anymore. I don't watch any of the current product. I don't do this. I don't do that. Do you know how much YouTube content is out there wrestling based that he could react to? He could react to old matches. He could react to, no pun intended, WWE Supercard playthroughs, or even or even WWE Champion playthroughs or polls. He could go over, because I'm thinking about doing it, because I've been wanting to do it for a while. There's a couple of them And now that they're starting to come back on YouTube because they were either getting struck down or copyright claimed, but now a lot of the downloaders or a lot of the uploaders are bringing these videos back. You got Botchamania, you got the Oh My God series. When it comes to what the fuck type moves and shit, like just major bumps and spots that were just like, goddamn, there is so much wrestling content out there, for example, that he could react to. And he's probably not because he's going to expose himself. Dude, there are literally AEW matches out there that he could react to and more than likely get away with it. Whereas with the WWE shit, you got to be careful. As it pertains to wrestling, is my point. There is so much shit he has cut himself off from because he's a fucking idiot. That now he's so desperate that he's just going to hope to do whatever it hits. And here's another thing too, as it pertains to him reacting to detractor content. If he does react to any detractor content in long form, I'm not talking about like your shorter stuff, like your Snort videos, which would be fantastic to see him go over that shit just so he can embarrass himself. Or your old school Mighty D videos, your David Davison videos, your Mr. Huff Stuff videos, your Volk Boy videos. So much Julius Cruz is another one that you could throw in there. There's a bunch of guys who make shorter stuff. Or your who's some of the new kids on the block now? Your Dark Surfer, your piece. I'd like to see him go over some of the piece of piece stuff. Clearly he's watching it, so why not? Doody streams. His Gout Police. I'd love to see him go over some of the Gout Police shit from back in the day. I'd like to see him try to respond to that. There's a bunch of people that he could respond to, or that he could react to, I should say. He won't do it. And those are more of the short formatted stuff. Let's talk about long formatted stuff. If he's going to react to any detractor stuff, I know a lot of people say, oh, he should react to the Tevin stuff. He should. He won't. But I think I know who he will react to. I bet you he'll react to the old KWO and the old SOK shit. Some of that stuff he may actually try to tackle. He might. Because those guys are so many years removed, at least KWO is. He might feel comfortable doing that. Some of the SOK stuff, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They did some, they did a bunch of content on DSP. Maybe DSP decides to sit down and actually react to some of it. Maybe he do, maybe he don't. But if I was to say, hey, is there anybody that he may react to in the detractor community, he might choose that. Or detractor content in general. I think he's going to choose one of those two at first. And then we'll see where he goes from there. What does he have to lose going over KWO or SOK shit? What does the guy have to lose? I'm just throwing it out there, though. With that being said, actually, here, let's go to this bullshit about these different re-uploads or mirrors of his videos. So I'm gonna put this up in a slideshow for you. Some of the top 5 videos you're gonna find, and so you guys can kind of see the length of each one of these videos. On top of that, I'd like to also pose a bit of a riddle to you, so to speak. DSP says that he doesn't have any fucking clue, not a fucking clue, on what happened to the original video, who took it down, did they take it down, yada 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 yada. He says he has no clue. Let's take a small trip, if you will, back to the year of 2015, November of 2015 in particular. If you've ever listened to the John and Howard response, you know that the video was recorded holiday weekend. To be honest with you, I think it was recorded that Friday. Basically the day after Thanksgiving. So if we go back to 2015, Thanksgiving would have fell on the 26th, which is a Thursday, clearly. Which means that this video, the John and Howard response, would have more than likely have been recorded on the 27th or the 28th. I'm thinking it's the 27th, which would have been that Friday. Now, with that, like I said, you guys can look at a calendar. You guys can, pull it up and whatnot if you feel the need to. With that being said, I want to remember how I said earlier on that I wanted you guys to focus on some of these re-upload dates. Yeah. Okay. So one of the videos that we're actually I'm gonna let you hear it real briefly. Was re-uploaded on November 28th of 2015. That would have been Saturday. Okay. Now, I've got 2 other videos down here Let's see. I got one by Mac, who re-uploaded his version of this, which is an hour and 31 minutes and 23 seconds long. He re-uploaded it on November 30th of 2015. If we go to JoJo re-uploaded or mirrored this as well on November 28th of 2015. Their version of it is 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 8 seconds. Now, wait, I got one more person, I think, who's... Okay, I think that's everybody. All right, cool. So, like I said, I want you to focus on the dates. My theory, and I'm pretty sure this is what happened, is the John and Howard response was recorded on November 27th of 2015. DSP more than likely had it taken down the exact same goddamn day. But those who were, and then like I said, they probably put the re-upload up somewhere, and that's where a lot of these guys more than likely got it from. It was re-uploaded from the 28th of 2015, or it was mirrored or re-uploaded from the 28th of 2015 to the 30th, at the very least. And then probably even more people did it even after that. So that's our window. The window is DSP had that shit taken down more than likely the day it went up. As soon as he could get that shit taken down, he did. And then if you look at where some of these guys back in 2015 mirrored it, or the time frame, if you will, it kind of paints the picture. So we have that. Holy shit. Like I said, now what's my next piece? So there's the dates, and those are the different people. Now let's go ahead and address the 5-minute gap between the Outsider and the Frayhua version of the John and Howard response. It's exactly 5 minutes and a second difference between the two. I'm going to play both versions for you. I'm going to play Outsiders first, big ups to him, and so you can hear his version or re-upload or mirror of it is 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 10 seconds. I will play the first 5 minutes of his video, and then we're going to play the second video at the very beginning of that, which is 1 hour, 33 minutes, and 9 seconds, just so you hear what's missing. To be fair, if you will. Alright, so there's a slideshow. Most of the people that I've talked about are up here, and certainly the two videos that I'm going to go over are up here as well. So let's go ahead and... Actually, I can just go ahead and play this, and I'll let that play in the background. Because past me was looking out for future me. Alright, here we go. This is going to be the Outsider rendition.
All week on that. So, Saturday, June 4.
Oh! Wrong video. My bad. Let's see. That is Project 7. Oh, I know what that is. That's for the next broadcast. Never mind. We're going to go with this one. Sorry. Here we go.
Hello. I'm John, and I'm joined by Howard. Woohoo! It's going, Howie, man. Are you enjoying your holiday weekend here?
It was great. I didn't have turkey, which kind of like upset me, but you know how that works, man. Just take it one day at a time.
You wanted the turkey?
Yeah, it's one of those things. You don't eat turkey on a regular basis, but not everyone else eats turkey, so and family, so
I've got some leftovers. I could probably come by.
Yeah,
I'll give you this. I got some scraps for you.
Yeah, no, but I kind of understand. I kind of understand everyone else's frustration about turkey, because it's just, if you don't prepare it correctly, it's just dry and disgusting, A
lot of people don't like it. I heard a guy in the grocery store was going off on the turkey.
What did he say?
He was having a conversation with someone. They're in front of the turkeys and just bashing the turkey. I wish it was like chicken, he kept saying. Why can't it be more like chicken?
But you know what? I did. I follow this person, this thing on it will be a person on Facebook. It's called Tasty. I don't know. You can't say it's a person. It's like a bot or whatever.
Okay, it's a robot.
Yeah, and that it's like a collective of people showing like recipes and stuff.
Yeah.
So they did like a Thanksgiving theme, like daily. They were posting like things like how to make like different versions of like pumpkin pie, like there was a way to prepare a turkey, which I think people don't do, is getting the brining. Because it's such a pain in the ass to do, because you have to like.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna play the whole 5 minutes so the evidence is out there. But this is what he's bitching about. This is the discrepancy. You know what I'm saying? That hinges on his fragile little ego and trying so hard to go ahead and be like, hey, the detractors have been lying to you guys for years. They were the ones who were fucking with the audio, and because the original isn't there, you guys gave them the benefit of the doubt, and they lied to you. They screwed you guys over. Even though he's going to use a detractor's rendition of that very audio on Saturday. And if he wasn't sure which one was which, why didn't he just go with the longest one he could find? And that's exactly what he's going to do. But I'm going to play you the full 5 minutes, though. I'm sorry.
Fill up the pot with water, and then like you got to, I think it's like ice water. And you got to put like the seasonings in there, and then you leave the turkey in there for like a day or 2 days.
Okay.
So then it soaks all that juice up, and then what happens is when you throw it in the oven, it doesn't dry the meat, so the meat stays moist on the inside. You know.
I think you need some turkey, man. Seems like you're really thinking about this a lot, dreaming about the turkey.
Yeah,
we gotta get this man some turkey.
Yeah.
Well, I wish we were having some turkey instead of doing what we're doing here. Although it's always nice to talk to you.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But not really how we want to be spending, your Saturday, I'm sure.
No.
Doing this. But, hey, man.
Okay, here we go. So, I'm glad you actually brought that up. Okay, like I said, so Thanksgiving in 2015 was on the 26th. I said that they must have recorded this on the 27th, but actually they recorded on which would have been that Friday. They actually recorded this on the 28th. So this dude, like I said, the dude literally had the video taken down like the same fucking day. Or at least that weekend. That holiday weekend, he had the damn thing taken down. Holy shit. Okay, well, I'm glad I got that confirmation. At least I was able to give you guys that. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Sometimes, unfortunately, things got to be done.
Yeah.
But people checking this out, I want to say, put it out there. There's no ads on this video. We've actually created a new channel for this to show, we're not trying to gain viewers or subs or whatever, man. And I'm not looking to subject my subscribers to this horse shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then the other thing too, I'll be completely honest with you. I'm going to throw this out there. I know that I haven't. So
we clearly have a DSP Pay Pig cult member who was quick to get DSP out on this, because now the John and Howard response comes out. It's on a completely clean channel, right? Has no association with nothing. A fresh channel. Someone was quick to get to see this for however which way they did, and then run back the fill. And because it's a brand spanking new channel, I'm sure Machinima wouldn't have given a shit either which way, and we're quick to be like, bop, and go ahead and get that bumped off there. Something to think about.
Anything on YouTube, and I apologize to my subscribers. Things have gotten in the way, but I try to regularly come on the show, just to show my fans that I'm here, and I don't nothing on my channel has been monetized, has ever been monetized, and neither do I care. It's something that I enjoy doing,
Well, you need more views, Howard.
Yeah.
How could you be happy if you don't have more views?
So I just want to throw this out there. After everything is said today, if you are somebody that really enjoys my content or me personally, you will continue following me. If you don't, I don't care. I really don't. I'm going to throw this out there. John and I's channel are the only ones that do not get monitored on a consistent basis. I don't sit there and hit block. I don't block people. I don't block content. Whatever you write on the comments stays.
Yeah.
There was a couple of times that I got into arguments with people online under the comments, but I never blocked them. I just left it.
Huh. I see.
So Just want to throw that out there.
All right, right on, man. So, like I said, man, I don't want to subject anyone to this that don't want it. But people want to seek it out. It's up there. I feel it's important to get the story out there, man. Exercise some demons and dispel some things that have been said and that are out there, you know.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, and it's just one thing that we try to avoid, but
yes.
It gets to a point where it cannot be avoided.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. So basically, this is a response to a lot of things, including a video posted by one Philium 2 days ago, who decided to record himself scolding us like a high school gym teacher, saying that you're immature and you need to learn how to be men.
Yeah.
So, you know, there you go. And the main thing is, like, people really want to know why we don't do anything with him anymore. And he himself, oddly, is saying that he wants to know why, you know. But that video that he put out, I think, is a perfect example of why. You know, so if you really, like, examine it, it's a video he puts out on Thanksgiving Day, which I don't really understand. And last year, Thanksgiving, he decided to unfollow me, which caused some issues. So something with Thanksgiving, I don't know if he's eating something that doesn't agree with him. Maybe he needs to follow your turkey recipe.
Yeah, it really, I think for me, it really started with that, because not only did he unfollow, like the way I noticed it was when I was on Twitter, I looked at his people that he was following, and he unfollowed both of us. And there was no really no rhyme or reason to it, which I thought was, I think that was the first shot. I'll be honest with you.
It's weird stuff. Like, especially when you work and you work hard and stuff, you look forward to certain days off. And like Thanksgiving is a certain day, like with your family and whatnot.
All right. So, like I said, that's the Outsider mirror of it. Like I said, it's an hour and 38 minutes and like 10 seconds. So there's the 5 minutes that supposedly is such a discrepancy that, you know, he's not sure what's true and what's not. There you go. And also, John had went ahead and re-clarified my timeline. So DSP did he must have done like an Ask the King or something, or whatever. He did some type of Thanksgiving special on the 27th. But he said a couple days ago, but it sounds like they recorded it on the 28th. So my question is, did he actually record it on? Okay, if DSP did his video on the 26th, then they must have done this on the 20. They must have done this on the 27th or the 28th, which still fits into my timeline. Unless DSP did it on the 25th. Well, my timeline still stands. It's just my dates are off, because it wouldn't be a GTG Productions without some type of small discrepancy. Either case. But right there, it kind of lays out the timeline. Like I said, we'll go over this at a later time and date. And we'll get the gist of it. But like I said, you just heard the Outsider rendition of it. Now I'm going to play you the next one up, which it's an hour, 33 minutes, and 9 seconds. I will start it from the beginning, so you can hear what was cut out, or so you can hear what's missing compared to the first one.
Basically, this is a response to a lot of things, including a video posted by one Philium 2 days ago, who decided to record himself scolding us like a high school gym teacher, saying that you're immature and you need to learn how to be men.
Hurtful. And there you go. That's how the second video starts. So the 5 minutes, you guys heard it. You heard what was allegedly missing. It wasn't too much of anything, talking about Turkey, and then how they didn't want to subject their subscribers to bullshit, and then they decided to actually get into how this all started, and like I said, it kind of reaffirms what our timeline is. That's it. That's such a flimsy way of trying to try to argue a point, or to try to break down the validity of something. Yikes, whatever. Anywho, there's that. That's pretty much the situation. Yet again, you know, go back, take a look on your own time and whatnot. I would recommend all of you to go and watch the actual John and Howard response. I'll leave some links down in the description to a few renditions of it. I was looking for the one that I've used in the past, or one of them that I've used in the past. I've used a few of these. Was the one by a guy by the name of Big Boss. Maybe they have their version of it privated, I guess, because I couldn't find it. I know I got the URL. I mean, I can check it later. If it works, I'll post it. But that's the one that I've used before, and I'm pretty sure their version of it is the same as Outsyder's. It's about an hour and 38 minutes, give or take. Like I said, I do recommend that you guys actually listen to the John and Howard response before Saturday, or before whenever the hell you guys decide to, you know, check out a restreamer or someone who decides to go over all of DSP's version of it in its entirety, just so you guys, you know, you get the full scope of it before you hear his bullshit. That's my only recommendation. It's a little bit shorter, but you know, that's kind of how the situation goes. And like I said, I just want to do a video on this quickly. I'm probably going to do another video before Saturday where we're going to go over some of the things that DSP did that caused some of this bullshit to happen. Let's see here. There's a pre-stream from May 30th, and then I'm planning on taking you guys back to 2012 and 2014, give or take. So we'll see if I get a chance to squeeze this in before Saturday and whatnot. So the Snort report that's supposed to come out, it might not come out this week. I don't really want to have a bunch of videos out. It can wait and marinate till next week. To be honest with you, bacon's always going to be bacon, and I will always cut it up as well as I can. But like I said, hopefully you guys can kind of take away at least my initial thoughts on why he's trying to make a big deal out of it. The fact that he's already making excuses, and he's not just facing this head on and whatnot, not being a man about the situation and being like, hey, I fucked up. And he's already trying to put the pignosis out there to try to downplay or to undercut or to discredit the validity of the video as well as the people in it. Already shows the amount of fear that he has for it. But that's my own personal opinion. Thank you guys for listening in. I very much appreciate it. Thank you guys for showing up to the Daily Beggar. And I hope to see you guys on the next one of these kind of shorter type things that I'm doing occasionally. You know, it is what it is. I got a couple of other titles in the works as well, but there you go. Like I said, I'll catch you guys on the flip. Let's see here. We can go back with lay down. We can go with let's play Ralph. We'll let Ralph play us out. MC Jarbo. Later, guys.
1, 2, 3, go! Memphis, Tennessee, straight up this bitch. The GUNT. Big ups to MC Jarbo. Did someone say, wait a minute, Matt, no, should've kept my head and my cab low. Now I'm just getting played like Hasbro when I'm not butt fucking handicapped. I'm calling out your woefully insufficient level of lactose. So that's where the fat goes. Look at my legs, bitch, ain't no circulation in those. I got them black toes. Listen, Faith, don't act like you wasn't sucking them shits like it was Leo DiCaprio's. But I bet you think my kid's some kind of lasso that you can just throw to straight up mess with my cash flow. Learned a few lessons from black folk, child support. No, collect the fees from the depths of my asshole. It may says, yeah, I stand behind him. He's a perfectly law-abiding citizen who's not violent, would never smack a bitch and force her to go in and hide it. Lord, protect this man like you protect Hunter Biden. And Faith says, where's my child support? Get the fuck away from me. I never leave the Ralph Castle. Like, I'm gonna just show up at your house. Sorry, the Ralph ain't no Frank Hassel. I just don't care. Pop pills and get high. So my soul ain't there. I'm trying to buy my way to heaven, but I'm nowhere near. Fuck it. Straight to hell. We go. I'd rather sit in this chair until I grow gray hair. I'll be dead at 45, man. I ain't scared. Trying to buy my way to heaven, but I'm unprepared. I guess it's straight to hell. We go.